Hi everybody, Only Frankly Speaking here. So as many of you know, I am a high school English teacher. I've been a high school English teacher for about, too long, about 22 years-ish. It's all blending in the background through the ages. In any case, I have seen many different styles of parenting throughout my years, and there's a TV show called The Parent Test. My mom actually recommended this show. She went over in great detail, literally gave me the play-by-play as to every type of parenting style, and really inspired me. You know what? I need to watch this show and see what this is about. So thank you, Mom, for giving me this idea. Okay, so The Parent Test is exactly as it sounds. I guess there's some sort of competitive component to it where they're trying to narrow down to winners of the best style, I guess. So the reason why I'm doing this video is I thought it would be a really fun idea to look at the show, The Parent Test, and see what a teacher would think of the different parenting styles. How do these parenting styles translate in the classroom? On the show, the parents are deciding what styles are good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what styles are good. I'm also going to see if I can get some of my teacher friends to watch the show to see if they agree with me and to give you some feedback as to what they think as well. I'm really excited for this. I did not even bother to put on any type of like anti-shine stuff. I was so excited about this idea. I was at the gym. Like, oh, you know what? I should do that. And boom, here I am. Set my camera really quick. I did shower. Because I don't want to smell that either. And yeah, so I'm like, let me do this in a rush. Okay, so in any case, this is a new computer setup, so sorry about all the angling. Again, I did this in a rush, so the lighting might be a little off, and welcome to 4K. I'm still playing with it, so let's see how this all turns out. I'm using these headphones that the district gave me, so, you know, little teacher perk here. They're not the best. They're really comfortable. As you can tell, and yeah, I'm not actually using this, but again, I'm just doing this for like dramatic effect. The microphone on my setup right here is actually way better. So, all right, let's get started. 1, 2, 3, family. Which way is the right way to raise a child? Are you happy you hit my face? Okay, so the show isn't just all willy-nilly. It is partially hosted by Dr. Brown, a renowned parent and family coach. So at least this isn't just some sort of, you know, sad reality TV show. There looks like there's some merit to this. So far I'm loving the new age parents. They look stylish. Dad's really handsome, by the way. Mom looks really cool. You know, in the outside glance, these parents may seem like they're letting their kids be really unruly or that there aren't enough rules. However, I'll be honest with you, even though these students in the classroom are far from perfectly behaved sometimes, they are often the out-of-the-box thinkers because they've been allowed to explore. And often, these are the types of students that will, you know, you'll have some sort of like potluck and they'll end up bringing like chickpea flour muffins with pistachio spirulina frosting. These students are usually the more fun students. Other kids usually gravitate towards them because they're really easygoing. They get along with just about everyone. So honestly, I love students that are spawned. No. I personally am a fan of the new age parenting style. Yeah, new age parents, they seem really, really supportive, very practical. If I could choose my parents, I think so far I would choose the new age parents. Okay, next up we have the Leong family with their intense parenting style. Okay, that little girl is absolutely adorable, but she's really gonna hate that bow when she gets older, so you better watch out, Mom and Dad. Wow, this girl is like a human calculator. So obviously teachers love the Juliets in the classroom because these are the kids who perform highest on standardized tests, so they look really good on paper. They are usually the kids who always know all the answers. They're the ones you know you can always call on because they know the right answers. However, at the high school level at least, the Juliets are usually the first ones who get really, really pissed off when the class is unruly. Often the intense parenting style results in intense children. They have very intense reactions to adversity many times. If things do not go their way or if they don't meet the structure at home, sometimes they can act out in disrespectful ways towards the teacher and question authority. So as far as intensive parents go, they're often a pain because these are also the parents who are emailing you all the time. Like, these are also the parents where, why did my daughter get a 98? She studied all night, we worked really hard, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Or it could go in the other direction. Can you please give my son and daughter more learning materials so they can do better? And although that sounds like a fantastic idea, it does put more work on the teacher sometimes. Okay, so this girl has an IQ of 170. It could be a result of good parenting and all this intensive learning. There is evidence that keeping your child challenged routinely does raise IQ. Some of it could be just genetics. You know, smart parents do tend to lend themselves to having, smart children as well. Everyone loves to have a Juliet in class, just as long as it's not the type that is a complete know-it-all. Often these are the students who, if you tell them, only write a short paragraph and here's only write in this box, instead of just writing like 4 or 5 sentences, they'll end up just shrinking their writing to the font so that they can write, the 5-paragraph essay response that they want to write. They will always find a way of saying everything they want to say. It's endearing, but also intense. One drawback that I do see to the intense parenting style is that the child is often very afraid to fail. Or even if the child is not afraid to fail, they do not accept failure and they see it as something that they've done wrong and that they're lacking. These are often these students who don't believe in making mistakes. This particular couple does take it to a certain level that I'm not quite sure is going to be very healthy for Juliet. And I'm sorry, these bows have got to go. There are no successful people that complain about their parents. That is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Almost 100% of losers, homeless people. Wow, that's a pretty strong connection she makes there. Almost 100% of losers complain about their parents. Where is she getting this information from? Is this how they actually think? Okay, those are some badass goggles, Juliet. She is rocking those. I find it very interesting that we're looking at these parenting styles, that they are all very separate styles, and I'm hoping that the conversation comes at the end that good parenting should not be just one of these styles, that hopefully there's some sort of overlapping hybrid of what works for each particular child. Okay, love the fact that they have a pair of gay dads. Way to be woke. God, I hate that word, but we're gonna use it just for fun. Routine parenting usually leads to students who rely on routines, and often they do very well in a classroom environment. Teachers love the kids who are all about the routine and have no issues in following the routine. However, as they get older and they hit the high school level, the upper grades, there are times when there isn't a routine cannot be followed. Sometimes those students who are too used to following routines don't always make the best decisions when that routine is gone. But overall, routine parenting, big fan. I was actually really surprised by the outcome, especially when that kid slapped his dad in the face. That was horrible. Wow, he just slapped the glitter right out of his head. But you know something? There has to be a reason for it. Did he deserve it? He just slapped that fairy dust right out of his jaw. Okay, so here we have natural parenting style. This is really interesting. I did work at a more rural school where I did see quite a few parents using this sort of style, or at least I think they did. So the natural parents let their children do things at their own pace. I do think that this is a very healthy parenting style. Although it may sound like natural parenting is great because you let your children learn at their own pace, that might be good for certain life experiences. However, in the classroom, although you need to learn at your own pace, it also needs to keep going at a certain pace. So I would say that natural parented children probably do really, really well unless they have an IEP or they need support. So that is one thing to look out for natural parenting. It seems to me like children of natural parenting seem to be one way or the other. They're either really, really easygoing and chill, or they are really easily riled up because they don't like being contained in a classroom, and they are used to reacting with their natural emotions. These are always the sweetest parents. These are the mothers who bring you fudge on parent-teacher night. These are the kids who handwrite you Christmas cards. Kids of natural parents are always the absolute sweetest. It's just such an organic style. Most kids from natural parents seem to be pretty well-rounded. However, I am a little concerned. Just to be aware, I would not consider natural parenting to this extreme that they're natural, where they're not weary of strangers. There was a serious reaction from the other parents when they saw how easy it was for a stranger to come to the door. And the rationale, of course, is that they live in the middle of nowhere. However, people tend to go missing in the middle of nowhere. Oh, one parent brings up that point. In the test with the gay dads, the routine parents got very, very emotional. I can perfectly understand why they don't want to show the footage on that. I guess this might be where I might be an insensitive person. Maybe it's because I don't like that gay stereotype that, all gay men like to share their feelings and, emotional outbursts. And something, I get it, it's a TV show, and it does get a lot of media attention, and maybe you do have those strong emotions, but I'm just not comfortable seeing you cry. Boy, I really sound like an asshole. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single one of the challenges. Again, the purpose of this video is to go over the different styles. You have the intensive kids. Although they're very high achieving, and intensive kids have a really wide array of different interests and abilities, unfortunately that intensiveness from the parenting can often filter into the way the child behaves, especially when things do not go according as planned. And any classroom teacher can tell you that you may have a plan A where things should go this way, however there's sometimes a plan B in case plan A doesn't work, and sometimes everything goes to crap. Plan C is for crap, and you just gotta make it through. That is where the intensive students, at least at a younger age, don't really seem to do really well with that, because they really need the structure. Their expectations are really, really high. So when adults cannot maintain that, very often they get frustrated. And there's been a few times where I've had some intensives take it out on me, because as if it has something to do with my classroom management. Going back to the natural parents, these are the parents who, we like these parents because honestly they are very laissez-faire. They get involved when they need to, however they don't helicopter usually. You will often see them there on parent night because they want to, they want to get to know their children's teachers. Again, usually very delightful families, very polite, very well mannered. They're often the students who are really soft spoken. They also tend to be more sensitive, I've noticed. At least I personally love the natural parents. The new age parents, you see them at parent, you can see those new age parents coming in a mile away on parent teacher night because, dad's got a neck tattoo, mom has piercings. I'm not going by what was on the show, I'm just going by what you often see. So they're usually the fun parents, the really interesting families. And they lead to really interesting, fun kids, so they're great. And routine parents, they are very, very good at making sure that their children follow routines. These are the type of parents that we call and we say, hey, your kiddo's not doing their homework, and guess what? Homework is prioritized in their routines before they do anything else, and yeah, everything's really cool. It's interesting, so this first episode doesn't have as many fun parenting styles to pick on as I was hoping. I will, as each segment of parents come out, go over which parents I like and which parents I don't like. Again, this is my personal opinion from my personal teaching experiences and what I perceive to be parenting styles of certain clusters of children. And again, different parenting styles work very differently for different age groups. So I teach middle school and high school. There are many parenting styles that are really good for the middle school kids. For example, middle school children do really well with routine. And unfortunately, that is the time when most parents tend to drop off the routine, and that's when they need it most. That's when they need that structure the most. That is when everything in their life tends to go to shit. Their hormones are raising, they're growing in different areas. One leg's longer than the other. I mean, don't you remember how horrible of a time middle school was? You're getting hair everywhere. Oh, speaking of which, if there are any middle school or high school boys watching this video. Yes, we understand that you're at the age where body odor starts to come into play. However, you know what? You gotta lay off the Axe deodorant. In fact, you know what? Never use Axe deodorant. But if you do wear any type of scent, remember the rule: do not spray on like a fog. A quick psst, and you walk through the mist. That's it. If you want, you can even do a little twirl. Okay, so again, that is the best time to have routines for them. It helps keep things structured so that way they have some sense of order and control in their lives where everything else is just going crazy. At the high school level, routine you want to sort of still keep, especially in 9th grade. However, once you hit like 11th, 12th grade, you know what? You gotta let go and let them develop their own routines that work for them. Of course, not everything is a one-size-fits-all. Not all children are the same, so different rules do apply to different children.